Welcome to the DugOut, your daily PSL hangout, जहां हर मैच की hot takes, key moments और expert analysis आपका इंतजार कर रहे हैं। आज हमारे साथ हैं क्रिकेट के legends, the Rawalpindi Express, शोएब अख्तर, the swing master, Sohail Tanveer, the trailblazing, Sana Mir, Rohan Nadeem, Shehzad Khan, Erin Holland। ये है द डगआउट, पीएसएल का असली पल्स चेक।
औज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलामु अलैकुम जी आयानु पखैर आगले नी हाओ चुनशुमे वशमले ओहाय गंजाइमस गुड मॉर्गन ओला बोयो प्रीवियत कैफा हाल हाले शुभ चतोरे अहलन व सालन मरहबा बुना मुचो ग्रासिया स्वाबिया भल्ली करे आया होश के आदन नायो सायो खुया मोरा चीवत तो ची हाल जोत काली मेरा खैर उतार and a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned in or streaming us exclusively on Myco and Tamasha. Ladies and gentlemen, I happen to be Shehzad Hassan Khan and certainly you are watching the dugout. Alongside me, the very pretty, the very amazing is Rohan Nadeem. Hello Roha.
Hello,
Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam, Shehzad. Thank you for that. I have to match up to that energy now. I'm going to try my best, but I know why you're happy.
I am.
Because,
I'm really happy.
प्रेडिक्शन ठीक हो गई आपकी?
My prediction तो नहीं ठीक हुई।
कल आपकी प्रेडिक्शन ठीक हुई थी?
देखिए कल हमारी ठीक हुई, ताहा ने अच्छी कोशिश की, बट अगर आप लास्ट ओवर में 3 कैचेस छोड़ेंगे, obviously that will be difficult. But we'll come to that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some friends of Pakistan over here, but not just that. Before I introduce her, God actually took the most time in creating this marvel, which we will be unveiling right in front of you. She happens to be the winner of the peasant. She happens to be Miss Universe. She's a singer, she's a host, she's a friend of Pakistan. And most of the people know HBL, PSL because of her as well. She is Miss Erin Holland. Hello, Erin.
Welcome.
How are you?
I swear I'm not paying him. Thank you, Bahad Shukriya. I'm Maddie Dost at home. Pleasure to be back here for one more night before back to work. But my goodness, I don't think I've ever had such a send-up in my life. I don't know how to live up to that now.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. You know, the energy needs to be contagious. Roha, take over, please.
And of course, हमारे साथ हमारे regulars भी आज मौजूद हैं in the dugout. The very sharp, the very wise, the very quick Sohail Tanveer is back with us.
Thank you.
And उनके साथ ही former captain Pakistan women's cricket team Sana Mir. Hello, Kaptan. Welcome back.
Thank you.
और उनके साथ the superstar, the fastest
Wow.
to ever bowl in world cricket and history of cricket, the Rawalpindi Express in his classic black t-shirt look. Shoaib Akhtar is back on the dugout. Shoaib, great to have you. Let's start with the match quickly. आपकी एक नहीं 2 predictions आज correct हुई. एक तो क्वेटा ग्लैडिएटर्स जीते और एक आपके MVP फहीम अशरफ ने जबरदस्त स्पेल भी कराया. कैसा फील कर रहे हैं?
This thing happens. I mean, like people like me that when they talk about the games, you know, this happens.
Yeah. Why is Erin laughing?
Okay. So I think after 24 days.
Yeah.
But the only prediction came right, and I thank God for that. The Fahim actually went in there, you know, to bowl off, you know, a couple of overs and got 4 wickets, and really proud of myself. That's about it, really.
I thought you'd say really proud of Fahim. Quetta.
नहीं शोएब भाई की दूरअंदेशी की हमेशा बात होती है, लेकिन इतनी दूर की बात होगी ये नहीं हमें पता था. But congratulations.
You know, I work on other platforms too. You see, I get prepared myself for this program with Sanami because she gives me all the intel.
Yeah.
Some of the people, work really hard, such as Erin, and me watching the whole game and talking about the analysis. It makes my job much more easier when you have.
It makes your job easier to watch the game.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Yeah, all right. But let's get to the
Something
game.
I should try.
Yeah,
Hey?
let's get to the game. It was Islamabad United, Quetta Gladiators, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of Quetta, this is the 4th game in a row that they have won. Islamabad United, unfortunately, not settling in Lahore as well. Let's move on to Sohail Tanveer. Sohail bhai, how do you see today's game? Quick notes about that, and then we'll move on towards match summary.
देखिए मेरे ख्याल से तो इस्लामाबाद अपने लिए खुद ही मुश्किल क्रिएट कर रही है बाय making so many changes. हर मैच में आप 5 से 6 changes कर रहे हैं. That's not helping them out for sure. पहले 5 matches yes उनके I think mainly फरहान की वजह से और उनकी बैटिंग की वजह से we all believed कि maybe they are invincible और कोई उनको beat नहीं कर सकता. But you can't afford it. You know fundamentals जो हैं क्रिकेट के कहीं ना कहीं yes cricket has बहुत मॉडर्न हो गई है, चेंज हो गई है, बट स्टिल जो रूल्स हैं जो कहीं ना कहीं आपको जाके उनको बरकरार रखना पड़ता है इन टर्म्स ऑफ बिल्डिंग योर टीम. यू नो आई डाउट इट स्टिल व्हाट द बेस्ट 11 इज. आई थिंक दे डोंट नो क्योंकि आप 5-5 6-6 चेंजिंग कर रहे हैं ना, और आप कैसे मतलब आई डोंट बिलीव व्हाट्स दे थिंक टैंक डूइंग कि इतने चेंजेस आप कैसे कर सकते हो यार. एंड नाउ लूजिंग 3 गेम्स बैक टू बैक it's going to be very tough. It's going to be very tough. Yeah. 5-6 changing you can't afford.
2-3 ठीक है.
भाई शुएब भाई I mean आपने इतनी क्रिकेट खेली है, मतलब पहले 4-5 मैचेस आप जाते हैं एक 11 के साथ, you think okay this is our main 11, then you try out the bench player. But हर मैच में आप 4, 3, 5, 6 players.
And
that is a lot.
It's costed them quite a lot as well, as QG is actually on top of the table as well. Now let's move on towards Sana. You know, Quetta Gladiators. जब हम इस्लामाबाद की पिंडी की बात करते हैं या बाकी और ग्राउंड्स की बात करते हैं, they've been relying on their spinners. Eventually, they have moved towards their pacers as well, and they're getting the job done.
एब्सोल्युटली. आई थिंक क्वेटा अगेन बात यही यहाँ पर आती है कि उनकी टीम बड़ी अच्छी जेल कर गई है, उनका बैलेंस टीम का बहुत ज़बरदस्त नज़र आता है और दे आर स्टिकिंग विद देयर कोर टीम वंस अगेन. हम बात जो चेंजेस की कर रहे हैं, इस्लामाबाद ना सिर्फ चेंजेस बहुत ज़्यादा कर रहा है बट विद इन द टीम बैटिंग ऑर्डर को बहुत बदल रहा है. अगर आप देखें तो जो आंड्रेस गॉस है वो आज खेले हैं बट अपने नंबर पर नहीं खेले. तो क्वेटा में ये चीज़ अच्छी आ रही है कि ठीक है शुरू में हसन नवाज से परफॉर्म नहीं हुआ, उनको बैटिंग ऑर्डर नीचे किया बट स्टिक किया, तो फाइनली हसन नवाज अब उस फिनिशिंग पोजीशन पे आके एक और आउटस्टैंडिंग ऐसा नॉक खेल गए जो कि क्वेटा को बहुत ज़्यादा इस वक्त कॉन्फिडेंस देगा. रायली रूसो तो ऊपर हैं ही, फिन एलन के भी रन हो चुके हैं, तो इस नॉक से क्वेटा की टीम और ज़्यादा तगड़ी हो जाएगी क्योंकि दे आर स्टिकिंग विद देयर प्लेयर्स एट देयर ओरिजिनल नंबर्स. तो ये बड़ा ज़रूरी है कि अब आप इस फॉर्मेट में उनके नंबर्स पे उनको ज़रूर खिलाते रहें.
चलिए अब क्योंकि हम बात भी मैच की कर रहे हैं, मैच समरी के ऊपर भी एक क्विक नज़र डालते हैं एंड लेट्स सी व्हाट रियली हैपेंड. लेट्स रीकैप इट अ लिटिल बिट बिकॉज एज वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट क्वेटा, एक क्रूज शहजाद उनका ज़रूर चल रहा है क्वेटा ग्लैडिएटर्स का. बैक टू बैक विंस एंड स्पेशल विंस, यू नो उनकी तरफ से वो टीम एफर्ट नजर आ रहा है. वेल दे वन द टॉस टुडे एंड पुट इस्लामाबाद टू बैट फर्स्ट. 157 इज व्हाट इस्लामाबाद कुड मैनेज. साहिबजादा फरहान और काइल मेयर्स ने runs kiye top of the order, but Mohammad Nawaz with his 49 of 34, that was a special cameo from him. But really credit to Quetta's bowlers, the way they restricted a team like Islamabad to 157. दूसरी तरफ चेज अगर आप देखें, हसन नवाज द प्लेयर ऑफ द मैच, 64 of 49 from him and at a decent strike rate as well because we've seen some of him but we're yet to see more of what he can do internationally. यहाँ बाकी अगर आप देखें एफर्ट, साउथ शकील couldn't really get off today, लेकिन Finn Allen and Riley Rousseau chipped in and Mohammad Wasim with a nice cameo in the end, 16 of 11, and in the end, well, that was an interesting chase. They won by 2 wickets, almost let the match go away, Shahzad, in the end, had it not been for those 3 catches dropped in the last game. Shoaib, how often do you get to see that in a T20 game? आखिरी bowler आखिरी ओवर करा रहे हैं मोहम्मद शहजाद and फिर 3 chances create हुए, तीनों drop हुए.
हाँ,
Chaos.
अन्य लग रहे थे मुझे.
Chaos, chaotic.
I mean, after getting Riley Roosevelt out for the run out, I mean, you got the breakthrough, right? So you had the half of the game in your hands. But again, having said that, I think Hassan Nawaz played really well to take them this far, but they made sure after that he crosses the line. By dropping the catches.
Exactly, but I think it was Salman Irshad who was too desperate and eager to get the catches too as well. But I think,
and I think he hurt himself towards the end as well. I hope he's doing okay now. But Islamabad cannot afford another injury.
Yeah, but I think that's where Erin needs to kind of speak about, you know, Pakistan Super League's 10th edition, where finally we got to see a nail biter happening today. You know, got us. You know, do you think that, you know, Pakistanis are usually very calm towards the last ball or the delivery of the over, where, you know, we do know that, you know, it's going to be chased up?
Short answer, no. I think quite often panic sets in, and you know, all the plans and the, you know, preconceived ideas kind of go out the window when the stress takes over, which is why I think Karachi Kings have been having a lot more success this year, because you've got the experience of David Warner, who has taken sides who on paper didn't look like they were going to have the goods straight to finals, like Sydney Thunder this year in the Big Bash League. So I think where he's really showed his value is just showing the guys another way of playing the game, showing them how to concentrate and back themselves in the difficult moments. I think poor Islamabad, they thought everything was going absolutely swimmingly when they were at Pindi at home. Very familiar conditions, really suited that explosive top 5, top 6. Now they've had to regroup and find a way in some really inconsistently performing Lahore wickets, and they don't know how to find their best playing 11. Couple of injuries in there as well, which doesn't help. And
obviously including their captain not being there on the field. And, you know, Salman Ali Agha will, of course, be seen as the leadership, in that leadership role. But Shadab looking a bit frustrated now. So I'm going to come to you because hum captaincy ki baat kar rahe hain. Shadab really not there, not being able to enforce those changes, those tactics. Salman Ali Agha, even though आज उन्होंने दो टोपियां पहनी हुई थी, एक कप्तानी की आई थी, एक as a player. But क्या कैसे आप देख रहे हैं, especially इस चीज़ को कि कैप्टन ऑन द फील्ड नहीं है?
देखिए काफ़ी फ़र्क ज़रूर पड़ता है बिकॉज जो मेजॉरिटी डिस्कशंस होती हैं इस लेवल पर वो आपकी फ्रेंचाइज हेड कोच, थिंक टैंक, ओनर्स और कैप्टन के बीच में होती हैं. सलमान अली आगा नो डाउट पाकिस्तान के कैप्टन है, बट शुरू के 4-5 मैचेस जिस वक्त इस्लामाबाद जीता है उस वक्त ही वाज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ द 11. सो सलमान हैज़ कम इन एंड शादाब हैज़ गॉन आउट. सो इट्स काइंड ऑफ अगर शादाब होते हैं तो वो ज़रा आसानी हो जाती सेटल होने में, बट बिकॉज सलमान हैज़ नॉट बीन प्लेइंग, ही हैड एन इंजरी बिफोर, उसकी वजह से अब आके सीधा कैप्टनसी करना वो इतना आसान नहीं होगा उनके लिए. और अनफॉर्चुनेटली द टीम हैज़ लॉस्ट 3 मैचेस इन अ रो. With injuries, it's going to be an uphill task because all other teams, whether it's Lahore, whether it's Karachi, now all of them think we have a chance.
Exactly.
And that is going to put more pressure on Islamabad because it was no one else but themselves. जब इतनी changes की, that kind of caused that stoppage in the winning streak. So वो pressure उनके ऊपर added ज़रूर होगा.
Exactly. इसीलिए मैं मेरे ख्याल है शुएब भाई की तरफ भी बढ़ना चाहता हूँ. Points table जो है उसके अंदर अब Quetta Gladiators जो है वो are on top as well. I think this is something which is going to hurt Islamabad the most now. शुएब भाई इतनी बेंच स्ट्रेंथ होना कि आप हर मौके पे अपनी आर्मरी को इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. डू यू थिंक दैट इट्स अ ब्लेसिंग इन डिसगाइज और डू यू थिंक दैट्स मोर ऑफ अ पेन नाउ?
Well, hey, the points table. I think 8 matches been played, 5-1, right?
Yep.
2 lost.
Yep.
11 points. I think topping the chart is always going to help, right? I think it's a 2 team that we're playing final before the final was Quetta Gladiator and Islamabad. And Islamabad, to be honest, to not take their side, but you know, to give them an advantage, they have a lot of niggles in the team, and that's why they're trying the other guys.
इसी वजह से उन्होंने हैदर को भी आज नीचे भेजा.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, give them a margin of error in terms of I think they know the best 11, right?
Yeah.
And with the injuries with the top table, like I mean, it's still number 2, right? And Lahore Qadar is reaching out, and Karachi and Peshawar Zalmi is there, and Multan, and they have forgotten us to come back.
And Lahore's got a game
Where
tomorrow
are
as
they?
well. So if they win, you know, they probably might go up the order as well.
Yeah, the Multans are going to go out.
Yeah,
They're already out.
They're pretty much packed their bags.
Yeah.
They're ready
So why
to-
they're in the table? So I'm just kidding.
Because
So
we-
I think that pretty much, I think we knew that the finalist, the Quetta Gladiator, is going to be the top. Because the one thing that goes in the favor, and the one thing is there a mature management
Yeah.
that who knows which player to pick in the draft. Very simple. A, there are people who's going to play around the foreign players. 2, and secondly, they're a settled coach and the settled management along with Sarfraz. And I think the captain is amazing, South Shakil. I think he's not cut for job. I mean, beginning of the PSL, the minute he turned up and showed up, he showed that, you know, this guy actually can be a good batter out of his skin, turn out to be a great batsman, and at the same time, he can be a good captain too.
Exactly.
So, settled squad. And Islamabad has, as Sana said, is uphill task, but I think they're going to come back stronger. All we need to see is who's going to come. The other 2. The other two team is very important for me. Lahore Qalandar can really surprise you. And they can surprise themselves too, right?
And Karachi Kings.
Kicking themselves out of the game, right?
Yeah.
So Zalmi, and then so on. I think it's going to be a great PSL. I think.
But
Exactly.
the range of expressions and emotions that we all got to see on Sir Viv Richards' face tonight.
I think he needs a sleep. I think he must be absolutely
I think he needs a spa day,
exhausted.
just like relax, forget about the game. He was tense right
He
up
wasn't
until
even
that
happy.
last ball, like the 6 was hit. And everybody in that Quetta camp was celebrating, they were laughing, and Sir Viv was just like, this was too intense. We got it
They should have
really
game.
close.
He wanted the game to be finished earlier and easier. And
Yeah, you can see
Yeah,
that.
it could, they could have finished it earlier as well. Very quickly, let's talk about the most valuable player over here as well. I'm going to move on towards Suhail by Hassan Nawaz. Hassan Nawaz actually did one thing right, which was जो इन्होंने Islamabad United के हवाले से ये बात की कि जब आपको shorter deliveries कराते हैं, तो you need to be on your back foot rather than कि आप अपने अगले foot के साथ पहले से commit कर लें. I think Hassan Nawaz to come back, because unfortunately within this PSL he wasn't performing really well. Debut पे उनका 100 था. For him, I think it's going to give him a lot of confidence within the middle order of Quetta Gladiators. जी सुहेल भाई.
सबसे अच्छी चीज़ ये लगी कि जब 5 ओवरों में अराउंड 48 उस टाइम पे 7 आउट भी हो चुके थे. सो उस टाइम पे नॉर्मली जब एक बैट्समैन खेल रहा होता है ना तो वो ट्राई करता है कि खुद से छक्के मार के गेम को फिनिश करे. व्हाट ही डिड द बेस्ट, ही ट्राई टू रन टू. आप अगर देखें कि बीच में एग्जैक्टली, सो दैट शोड ही वाज नॉट पैनिकिंग.
अच्छा, और इस मौके पे सॉरी एक और बात ऐड करना चाहूंगा. तो व्हाई डिडंट इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड रियलाइज कि उनको सिंगल और डबल रोकने, रादर दे हैड फील्डर्स.
That was not the best of the captain's decision, I would say. मुझे भी बल्कि जब नसीम ने वो ओवर किया when they needed 23 और पहले बॉल पे जो चौका लगा, I mean, we knew कि उसने he was looking to take single but वो slow one करके चौका खा लिया. But obviously it goes to the bowler as well what ball he tend to choose on that particular moment. So we're not going to blame only the captain. Naseem is experienced now. So coming back to Hassan Nawaz, I think he has that ability to take game on himself, and I don't know, obviously her team management की अपनी एक decision making होती है why they're sticking with but इस्लामाबाद की भी अगर इसमें मैं बात करूं तो इस्लामाबाद ने भी एंड्रयू हॉर्स जो उनका
इस्लामाबाद की तरफ मैं सुहेल भाई आने लगा. मैं जरा आपको ना मैं चाहता भी I would want everybody to speak about this guy. आखिरी ओवर आप देते हैं सलमान अली आगा. What was he thinking in his right mindset as well? Shahzad comes in, creates 3 possibilities for them to kind of go ahead, catch it, but they couldn't do it. Shoaib bhai, I'll start with you as well, and I would want you to kind of rate the boy, who created these 3 opportunities in his first ever over. That too was a death 20th final over.
I need to save the game at the same time.
Yeah.
We can't ask for more pressure.
Yeah.
So it's okay. All right. I think that he did what it was required. He was bowling the slower ones. Actually, the mistake that he made, he shouldn't have gone to take that catch because it's coming from back of his head. The guy was coming from the front. He was basically dead still, by the way.
Yeah.
So that is the catch that I'm talking about. I mean, I'm so spot on every time. What this guy is doing, he's sort of standing next to him, and that's another catch, and it's the same guy. Yeah. It's a Sabzada Farhan, is it?
No, it's
Salman Ishad.
Salman Shah.
Yeah.
And then I think he ended up hitting
that's a
himself
six.
here.
That's a
he
6.
even ended up hitting the keeper as well, so.
And then I think we're talking about another catch.
This one.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 of them collided together, right?
Yep.
I mean, this is his call, Salman. You see, तुम कभी नहीं catch लेते जब हमारा सर पीछे हो. This is like, obviously.
Surely if the keeper's involved, though, automatically they've got the gloves
Yeah.
in that situation.
He's
was his
blinded,
call.
no, Erin. He's blinded. He's coming. The ball is coming from in behind,
Yeah,
right?
you've got a call for it, though, right? Isn't that-
He called. Salman called. Rashad.
But wouldn't you say a keeper in that situation?
Well, he
you'd
dropped
be
the
more
previous-
comfortable
When
with
He
it?
dropped the previous
When the
catch.
keeper is running towards the front of the ball, right? Then it is called completely, no matter how close you are. But the ball is coming from your back and on your back, and then there's a guy standing in front of you. That's his call. It's very simple norms, right? He called. He almost catched it, and they flipped
And
it.
then they collided, and
And
that
collided,
did not
yeah.
look, that looked ugly actually, and we could see that he
Yeah.
was in
So-
pain after that. This reminded me of a very funny incident in PSL. I think a couple of seasons back. It was the final, and Lahore Qalandars were playing, and the catch, the ball went up in the air, and I think Fakhar Zaman was under the ball, and Mohammad Hafiz was also under the ball, and then they ended up dropping it, but of course they won the match. But later on, Fakhar Zaman, when asked why didn't he call it, he said, I did call it in my heart.
दिल में.
मैंने दिल में बोला था,
हाँ,
मैंने दिल
था.
में call किया था. I think that counts for something, just call it in the
Wow.
heart.
He called it in the
Just
heart.
pray that it gets heard.
Yup.
Gets pretty loud too on finals. The crowd, I can only imagine it's hard. You're like, hear mine, it could be anything.
Yeah, exactly. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be heading out towards a short break. Don't go anywhere. Keep on streaming exclusively on Myco and Tamasha, because when you come back, we've got a rapid fire round set up for Erin Holland. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching The Dugout.
Gee, welcome back. You are watching the Dugout exclusively on Tamasha and Myco. We are back in the studio. We've got our very special guest, Erin Holland, with us, alongside the Rawalpindi Express, Kaptan Sana Mir, and Suhail Tanveer, and I'm Roha, this is Shahzad, and we are now ready to head towards our favorite segment. We've got a lot of questions from all of you. It's time now to ask the expert.
So you can certainly, send in your question as well. The hashtag is Dugout Experts. What we're doing today is that we're doing a rapid fire round with Erin Holland. So
And I think I have a question for Erin to start off with, because we're talking about analyzing the game, and she's been covering PSL for so many years, and you've now seen a lot of seasons, a lot of emerging players. What are your thoughts on the quality of raw talent of cricketers that you've seen over the years in PSL, because you've covered cricket in all parts of the world? How do you compare Pakistan's raw talent to, those of around the world?
I think it's exceptional, and the one great thing about the PSL is that the initiative by the PCB to always have an emerging talent in the playing 11 as a mandatory, which means you are giving that exposure no matter what, every single game to a brand new talent. And I feel like if I think of the last few seasons, Ali Raza certainly stands out so far for Zalmi as a tearaway quick. I think of Shahnawaz Dahani, Asanullah, Osama Mia last year as a leading wicket taker. Obviously, he's not young, but not someone that you saw regularly in the national side. So it's incredible to see just how much the rest of the world is watching the PSL as well. I remember a certain Harris Ralph getting a go because of a great HPL PSL for the Melbourne Stars.
And he played in the BBL. He played in the BBL before he even made his international debut. So you can see the quality of talent.
But I think the rule of having one in the playing 11 is a great idea. And obviously in mixing around the regulars and then with your overseas talents, it makes for a really good recipe, and it's been great to see who stands out so far this year. And I often get shocked when I'm looking at the names and then looking up the ages, and they're 20 years old from tiny parts of Pakistan. And I think that's the one good thing about these things and social media, is that we now have the ability to see people, even in the smallest little regions and towns, because you go viral on YouTube, having a net session or taking some polls, you never know what could happen. So keep practicing and upload it. Who knows?
So let's get started. I think everybody's in good place now, so are you ready, Erin?
Oh, that's not it.
All right, because we're always ready, we're always confident, because we have been using Clear Men. Clear Scalp gives you a lot of confidence as well. So let's get ready. We have the questions over here. Erin, you ready? All right, so you're in the middle of an interview and someone smashes a 6 into your camera. What's your reaction? Graceful diva or full WWE mode?
I would go WWE mode and go, would you look at that? That's the action that happens here at the HPL PSL. There's shards of glass everywhere. Oh my word, you got to roll with it.
A little bit
the show must go on.
Something in Urdu too.
No, you don't want my knee-jerk reaction to be something in Urdu, because it would probably get me cancelled and never asked back. But actually, I will tell you, there's been a few little close calls, I think, particularly when you're hosting a live interview, and obviously there's dangerous cricket balls flying around, and it's a very basic thing to say, but you don't realise how fast that thing is coming until you actually sit and stand on the sideline and realise how quickly these guys are bowling and batting. You're all very impressive human beings, I have to say. I could never do it, but I think the show must go on, and the interview doesn't restart for anybody. Just gotta roll with it. But I'm definitely more WWE than Princess.
Next question, you've interviewed...
Don't forget it's a rapid fire.
Thank you for the reminder. Thank you for the reminder.
For me?
All right, so you've interviewed Babar, Rizwan, Shaheen. Which one would you trust to do your makeup before a live show?
Ooh, Babar's got good brows.
Eyebrows.
Eyebrows?
Yes.
So Babar.
Eyebrow. Eyebrows, sorry.
So okay. Next one. Be honest, who's more dramatic after a bad day? Ben cutting after getting out, or you after someone steals your last French fry?
Or Ben after getting out. You can't talk to him for a good 6 hours.
Okay, so what's one thing about Pakistani cricket fans that still surprises you besides their encyclopedic knowledge of stats from 1992?
Oh, just the knowledge of all the big bangers as well. Every time Dil Dil Pakistan comes on, or the classics, the whole crowd just goes up. I think it's such a good vibe in the stadium.
If you and Ben were a cricket pair, who's opening the innings and who's sledging from the non-strikers end?
I'm absolutely sledging. I talk for a living. I've got better chat.
Can you act a little bit with a mute?
Nine.
Okay, that's
no
great.
off button.
All right, so what's the most cricketer's wife thing you have caught yourself doing? Bonus points if it includes protein shakes or fantasy leagues.
Throwdowns in the backyard during COVID.
Oh,
I think that's a very
throwdowns.
cricketer's wife thing. And we actually got one of those tennis balls that you can set different, you know, and just fire things. And I tried some catching practice in the backyard, and I was like, I'm going to break a nail. I need to stop doing this.
All right, so who's more stylish, you or Shadab Khan?
Or Shadi. I think Shadi's a lot more stylish than I am. Actually, I always say to him, teach Ben, please.
Wonderful.
Give him some tips.
If you were a cricket shot, what would you be? And you cannot say cover, drive, queen.
Ramp for 6.
One last one. One cricketer you would let style your next outfit, and one you would definitely not name names, please.
Or I wouldn't let Ben style me ever. I know that's very personal, but boy, he needs some help.
Sorry,
He needs
Ben,
some
once again.
Real help. And honestly, style-wise, anyone from the West Indies.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm
I
going to
was just
borrow
about
those
to say
diamond
that.
chains. I'm going to borrow the jewelry because it's better than mine.
I was just about to say that, and while we're on the topic of style, Shoaib, how important is style to you as both as a cricketer when you used to play and now, of
Shades
course,
and
when you're
hair.
not playing? How important is personal style? और आपका personal style क्या है? वो भी थोड़ा
I think
share
it's a part of your personality. I mean, the big locket on your
Yeah.
neck chain that you're wearing, and the bracelet. I'm never been a huge fan of the bracelet because it comes in the way
borrow
of the
mine.
bowling. You want me to say this? What we talked about?
No,
Anyway,
don't say
What
it.
she's wearing right now, I mean, is worth tons a lot of money, by the way. Anyways, I think it becomes a part of your personality that is a.
Have you ever been
big open
inspired by
collars,
someone?
Shirt that you're wearing, the long hair,
Yeah.
and the rough look. You don't want to have to shave. You just want to come in. You brush your teeth, please.
Who was your style icon while you were playing cricket?
Oh, one guy. Man.
Yeah.
It's easier. I mean, the one guy that I saw him in the '92 World Cup, and I saw his little documentary that he's wearing a suit and walking across the street is Imran Khan.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I looked.
And that
he
tiger
was-
T-shirt as well.
He looked. A tiger T-shirt, he's like that. Oh, Graham Gooch. नहीं छोड़ूंगा तुम्हें आज दिल में ही कह रहे होंगे मैं तुम्हें बता रहा हूँ I know Imran bhai so well you know वो कह रहे हैं no problem Gucci I mean talking about Imran Khan going in the toss in '92 World Cup he's wearing a tiger T-shirt and intimidating the English captain he said listen you must be saying in the heart oh Gucci you have no chance it's very
I
simple
love that impression though.
and him walking on the street in the suit and holding the coat in his hand, I think that was the ultimate fashion for me. And that's it.
Sana,
and
same
probably,
question.
I think I love Shah Rukh Khan in a hit.
Oh.
Back in, and that's like just my youth. Like back in '93, '94.
He's still got it too.
Oh,
Still
God,
stylish.
He is.
Sana,
he's
who's
something.
your style icon?
I think I generally keep it quite simple for myself. But मुझे याद है when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of female sports icons. Especially in cricket, we didn't see any. But Steffi Graf, I used to love, and then after Steffi Graf, Martina Hingis.
Yes.
But
Those
when you
were
were
the-
playing in the playing days, who were the stylish cricketers? Katy Perry, along with any other cricketers.
Katy Perry.
Oh, sorry.
Perry Elise. Perry
Perry
Elise.
Elise.
Yeah.
She's a singer, she's
love
an
Katy Perry.
astronaut, and now she's...
Perry
She's an
Elise.
astronaut. She's an astronaut now. Yeah.
Is she?
No,
Yeah, she
Katy
went
Perry
to
is-
space for like 5 seconds.
Who was the most trendy?
Perry Elise.
Can you say that
Elise.
she's very
Yeah,
smart
yeah,
girl?
Yeah, I think obviously Elise Perry stood out, definitely. Sarah Taylor from England, she stood out as well. Yeah, I think those two, especially Elise Perry, Holly Furling.
Yeah.
One
With the blonde
with the
ponytail,
blonde
whipping
ponytail,
in the
yeah.
bowl. Yeah.
I also really like Nida Dar's like her personality. She had a green hair phase as well.
Yeah.
That
Nida is
bob
always
was really
Nida is
nice.
always experimenting, and she's always very authentic, and that's what I really love about her. That she doesn't want to copy anyone. It's her own style, and she carries it well. So yes, definitely from Pakistan, Nida
Maybe
has
she
her
likes-
own
In the
style.
males?
Or maybe she liked Colin Funky Miller.
बोल दे please बोल दे आज उनका आज की prediction भी ठीक हुई है तो
My name.
No, I didn't say that. I just said
सोहेल आपसे भी यही
Sohail,
सवाल
what's your?
है स्टाइल
आई
आइकन
थिंक इमरान भाई जैसे शोएब भाई ने कहा कि मेरे ख्याल में तो टिल डेट पाकिस्तान
Yeah.
क्रिकेट में अगर कोई आया है क्योंकि व्हेन इट कम्स टू स्टाइलिंग और कैरिंग हिमसेल्फ आई थिंक इट्स इमरान खान एंड गो के बैक इन डेज अगर आप उस टाइम को देखें और अभी देखें देयर इज सो मच नॉलेज अब मीडिया एंड एवरीथिंग सो यू कैन गेट योरसेल्फ प्रिपेयर्ड बट
Yep.
स्टिल आई थिंक नोबडी कैन मैच हिम दैट्स
Exactly.
सिंपल
Wonderful. One last question we've just had on Twitter and it's for everybody. I'm going to say it in Urdu and translate it for you in English as well. कौन सा एक ऐसा अदाकार है जो अगर मूवी में हो तो आप मूवी नहीं देखते? So, what actor makes immediately not want to see that movie? Go ahead, whoever.
What kind of question is this?
That's what they said.
Said what? I didn't
What
understand.
kind of an actor? So is there a certain actor that you just go, nah, I'm not going to watch it. You don't even need to know anything about it. They just grind your gears.
I still didn't get it. I still didn't get it.
Sorry.
My IQ level is
Yeah, all right.
मैं-
Let's get
मेरे-
started with Erin.
What is it?
Yeah.
मैं तो movies ही नहीं देखता यार. I
Yeah,
told
sure.
you, I don't watch movies.
Okay.
Why?
I don't watch movies.
No.
No. Only in the flight on Netflix. So whatever comes, I watch.
Okay.
Just to kill the time.
That's fine.
That's it.
Okay. What about you, Sana?
I actually don't like to answer a question like that because if someone is doing something for a living, it's a very cruel
Okay,
question.
let's answer.
It's a
let's
very
flip
cool-
the
Ask some
question.
softer question.
Let's
Yeah.
flip the question.
Yeah,
Who's
exactly.
an actor, if he's or she's in a project, you will definitely give
Watch
that
it.
a
Julia
shot.
Roberts.
Okay.
For me.
Great one.
Julia
Smart.
Roberts,
Great
definitely.
I'll watch it. The lookalike of Imran Khan. Richard Gere.
Richard Gere.
Richard, yeah.
The lookalike. I swear to God. Just look at him. He's got the same feature like Imran Khan.
And Leonardo DiCaprio.
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. I think I'm
Yeah.
high-fiving you on that because we know we really bonded over Chris
He's
Hemsworth
straight, yeah.
while we were working.
Yeah,
Another very fine Australian export after, of course.
I think for me, it's going to be Fahd Mustafa. I'm going to stick to Pakistan. Fahd Mustafa is doing a great job,
Yeah,
even if he's
definitely.
acting or hosting. Phenomenal.
You're going to his program next. For sure.
I tell you what, I'm going to throw my mother under the bus. The one that she won't watch. I quite like a lot of his movies. She can't stand Will Ferrell because she saw Elf. And she showed Elf to her classroom of school students one day, not really realising what kind of an actor he was. And she was like, oh my, what have I done? Like, not that it was totally inappropriate, but she was just kind of like, it's probably not really great, but whatever it was. I think he's really funny. I love Step
Yasir,
Brothers.
you know,
and-
from the back, he's saying Will Ferrell is a legend. Erin.
Yes, he's the best. I didn't say it. I said my mum.
Yeah, it's okay. You played safe. That's fine. I think that's great as well.
Right.
But with that, I think we should end this segment as well. We need to head out towards a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're tuned in or streaming us exclusively on Myco and Tamasha. And you're watching The Dugout. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Ji, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us back. You're watching The Dugout exclusively on Tamasha and Myco. हमने post match analysis किया, हमने Erin के साथ एक quick rapid fire भी किया. We threw some bounces at her. She played them really well. In fact, out of the park some of those. लेकिन अब time आ गया जी preview करने का कल का all important clash, and this is the big one as they call it. Lahore Qalandars up against Karachi Kings. So let's start with our analysis. It's time now for our experts and for all of us here actually to pick our winners.
Yeah,
Let's go.
This one's going to be challenging.
Yeah.
Yup.
Lahore Qalandars and Karachi Kings. Who is going to be the winner tomorrow? We know कि ये दो teams जो हैं PSL में they're big crowd pullers as well. Right. सोहेल तनवीर से हम analysis भी लेंगे और फिर आपका winner भी लेंगे लाहौर versus कराची.
I'll go with Lahore.
Reason.
अच्छा मैच है दोनों टीमों के लिए. कराची के लिए ऑब्वियसली ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि कराची लुक्स लाइक द ओनली टीम के पेशावर ज़ल्मी जिसको कैच कर सकती है. तो इफ़ दे लूज़ टुमारो उनके लिए वो पेशावर ज़ल्मी और उनमें काफ़ी क्लोज मुकाबला होगा फॉर द 4th प्लेस. लाहौर के लिए वाई एम गोइंग विद लाहौर ऑब्वियसली दे प्लेइंग एट होम. वहाँ पे अभी तक उनकी परफॉर्मेंस भी अच्छी रही है. देन नाउ पिच इज़ टर्निंग you know. तो उनके पास बीच में आसिफ इज़ देयर. देन दे बोल सिकंदर राजा विद हिज cheeky bowling. तो फास्ट bowling obviously we know Shaheen is there, Haris Rauf is there. Batting में उनके पास they have so many match winners who can win game single-handedly.
And the last match that these two teams played in Karachi, Lahore actually won by 65 runs. Fakhar Zaman scored 76 and Daryl Mitchell hit 75.
that Karachi was different.
In different conditions.
Yeah, उस time उनकी वो peak नहीं पकड़ी थी. They were on losing side, but after that they played well. They played good cricket since they came out of Karachi. They did well. Now they look a settled team, but I feel they have more match winners than Karachi, so I'm going with Lahore.
All right. Well,
Chale.
wonderful.
So
What about you, Sana?
आई थिंक सेम लाहौर कलंदर्स की जो थोड़ी सी एक प्रॉब्लम आई थी स्ट्रैटेजी में वो भी उन्होंने करेक्ट कर लिया. उनकी टीम किसी वक्त भी ऐसा नहीं नज़र आ रहा था कि उनके पास कोई प्रॉब्लम है कि उनके पास नंबर ऑफ प्लेयर्स नहीं है. वो ज़रूर थे पर उनकी जो पिक्स थी और जो बैटिंग ऑर्डर्स था उसकी वजह से थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम था विच दे हैव करेक्टेड. लास्ट मैच में हमने देखा सिकंदर रजा की प्रॉपर यूटिलाइजेशन हुई, सैम बिलिंग्स की प्रॉपर यूटिलाइजेशन हुई, जिसकी वजह से उनकी टीम की एक बिल्कुल शक्ल मुख्तलिफ नज़र आ रही है. तो अगर उसी तरह से वो जाते रहे तो आई एम प्रीटी श्योर लाहौर कैन बी ऑन द टॉप.
Alright, Shoaib bhai.
I think I cannot just go against.
Sana and Shoaib bhai.
Simple. You know, I have to book with
Same.
the next platform. So I think my pick is going to be for Lahore Qalandars. I think they're playing at the home ground,
Yeah.
right? That's their hunting ground. I think with the pace bowling, I would preferably go with the Lahore Qalandars.
Okay. What about
Erin
you?
Holland, what would you say?
I'm going
Where
to
are you
disagree.
going?
I'm
Where are you
gonna
off to after
disagree.
this?
I go to Multan for my next game on Monday and then back here to Pindi. But where I'm going about tomorrow's derby, the El Clasico, as we're calling it, I actually think it could be Karachi Kings.
Whoa.
I'm going to go Karachi.
Making it interesting.
I think David Warner is very due some runs at the very top of the order. Barely seen him make an impact yet. And I think Khushal Shah is going to be a very important cog in that. I think he was very unlucky to not be player of the match in their last win, which
We'll
was
come towards
massive.
your MVP.
No,
as well.
I'm not saying who my MVP is.
They did the same thing last
But
time.
James Spencer's obviously in the runs.
Yeah.
David Warner, I think Tim Seifert's been brilliant. Given it's starting to turn a little bit, Mohammad Nabi, the president as well, I expect big things from him. And yeah, I don't know, I just have a feeling it was a wonderful big win to the Karachiites. Lahore is, also very difficult at home though, so I just hope it's a really good match. It was disappointing to see it, play out the way it did in Karachi. I think we love a good tussle.
And especially because Lahore's last game got washed out, they will be pretty frustrated with that half a game that they got, but they got off to a good start in that game. So for that reason, and because the experts are siding with Lahore, I'm also going to incline with Lahore Qalandars.
My God, I'm going to ask my favorite guy over here. He's over here inside the studio. Hanji, ta bhai, Karachi le le phir. आखिर में गिफ्ट है पर हमने आपस में ही शेयर करना है. So I think I'm going to go with Karachi Kings, and Kane Williamson is set to kind of,
खुद तो आप डूबेंगे, आप तार को क्यों डुबा रहे हैं?
It's okay, we'll manage. हमारा बर्डन तो दोनों पे है ना, तो हमारा नुकसान आधा होगा, हमारा पूरा नुकसान नहीं होगा. So I think we're going to do that as well. I'm going to go with Karachi Kings, and I'm still excited to see Kane Williamson out there, doing what he does best.
Right, these were the winners. It's time now to pick our MVPs.
That's a difficult one.
सोहेल तनवीर, आपके MVP कौन है कल लाहौर से?
I'll go with Sikandar Raza.
Oh, yeah.
I think I picked him as my MVP twice.
Well, you want me
he
to
did
not
come any good, so he better.
Perform.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
You
okay.
perform.
What happening?
You perform. What happening?
What happening?
Sikandar Raza, what happening when I'm picking you? Sana.
अच्छा मैं भी अब कंडीशनल पिकिंग करना चाह रही हूँ रोहा की तरह.
मुझे ये तो अलाउ ही नहीं किया ये रूल.
यार मैं चाह रही हूँ कि डेविड वीसा खेलें किसी तरह. I really want David Visa to play, and if he plays,
अच्छा, केन विलियमसन का भी अभी कंडीशनल है.
Yeah, Murshid, we really want him to play. So if he plays, then he can be the MVP because of the way the pitch is behaving. Otherwise, I'll also go with Sikandar Raza.
Whoa. Okay, conditional.
I mean,
MVP.
if he plays, I will ditch Sikandar
अच्छा,
Raza.
डायरेक्टर
Only
कह रहे
one.
हैं conditional नहीं हो सकता, डायरेक्टर
No,
कह
no,
रहे हैं.
no,
So you have to pick one.
Yeah.
Chalo, I'll just say David Visa. Let's see if
Okay.
he plays tomorrow.
Ji, Shoaib bhai.
The safest option has to be, on this track, the guy who can take you across the line is Taran Mitchell.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah, for Lahore Qalandars.
Yeah, all right.
fair enough.
Safest.
I'm going with Kushi. I think Khushal Shah is growing better and better each and every game. I think he's responded well to Warner's captaincy, and we know the tracks are starting to do a little bit more. He's chipping in with the bat and with the ball. As I said, I think he was unlucky to not be player of the match in the last outing with his 33 off 13 and his toofer, if my memory serves me correctly. So I think he could be the one to steal the hairdryer off James Vince in this
A
game.
bit unfortunate that your MVP didn't play today, but I hope Khushdil Shah they play him tomorrow.
I still got the winner right, so you know.
Absolutely. You got
Someone
that
can
one
take my point.
You got that 1 point.
What happened to your MVP for last night?
I think he was being rested.
Yeah. So Erin, because you're from the hosting party as well, so your point will come to us eventually, me and Taha.
Yeah.
Because we're already sharing. Thank you so
Excuse
much.
me?
So it's decided already. Erin said yes.
That's
yeah.
up to her. Whoever she picks,
Yeah.
I
Open
get
to bribes.
Okay, can't use that word. No
Kulle aap.
problem.
But that's not halal anymore over here. See?
But I'm gonna just
keep it halal.
Bribes in terms of chocolate,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah.
give me
I think, wait.
give
I
your
think,
jazz cash number right now. Doing that as we speak, whatever. You put the numbers in, okay? You put the zeros in. No, just kidding. I don't
Exactly.
have that
Where
much
we
money.
spoke about, we need to keep it halal, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure that you use Jazz Cash because Jazz Cash may, if you use these Salam investments, buy via Takaful, you can actually have halal,
Munafa
outcomes as well.
every
Halal
day.
munafa, yes.
Don't
So I
miss
think it's
out
great.
on that. Also, while we're on Jazz Cash topic, do you know if you reload Jazz Cash enough times, you have a chance of winning an electric car?
Yeah, that's
And a
good.
scooter and all bunches of things.
Why is Shwebhai not excited about this?
Because he already has
so many cars.
Yeah, he runs everywhere. He does not need an
doesn't
electric. He's
even
like,
need
I'm running.
He is
happening?
what happening?
You performing.
यार असल मेरे टाइम बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है अपने शो को रैप अप भी करना है आप अपना MVP बताएं और मेरा भी MVP बताएं
Okay, so my MVP is going to be, I think it's a tough one to pick, but I'm going to go with Amar Jamal. Yeah.
Oh,
क्या
not
reason?
bad.
I think because the last game he was phenomenal. He
Okay.
took some wickets as well. He got the catches done. So I think he can be one of those guys who is going to cross the line for Karachi Kings if they did cross the line. I mean, that's something that we really need to kind of talk about as well. But who's your MVP?
I think Abdullah Shafiq will be my MVP for tomorrow because I would love to see him continue. He got some runs already, but I would want to see him do that match-winning knock for Lahore Qalandars. And of
Khel
course,
liya
they've
bas.
changed up their top order as well. Mohammad Naeem is another one of those, Erin, we were talking about raw talent and Lahore through their PDP program. Of course, we know they've given so many names. You talked about Haris Rauf, but Mohammad Naeem is another very exciting top order talent. Your thoughts on him so far?
Yeah, very, very exciting. I think it's obviously another step above when you come and have to play at the PSL, and given he's up the top of the order, you're up against the best bowlers coming at you as well.
much
So it's a
pressure.
really hard place to start your impact in a league, I think, as it is taking the new ball or bowling at the death.
Yep.
For our bowlers in the house, but really exciting. And I think when I think of raw emerging talent, my brain immediately goes to the quicks. So it's nice to see perhaps some batting prowess coming through as well.
I think that's great. But where we've spoken about Lahore Qalandars as well and how Asif Hafidi gives them that space where they could utilize, Haris Rauf towards the end. Let's talk about what Karachi King can do better to kind of prove you guys wrong.
No, I think Karachi has been performing really well. It's not about they are not a good team. I think they have gelled together, as Aaron pointed out, under David Warner. They definitely look like a different team. That is definitely there. But overall, Mohammad Nabi, I think, has been amazing with the new ball as well. If the all-rounders click, as pointed out, Khushdil Shah is there, Amir Jamal is there, and then Mohammad Nabi. They are a pretty good team.
And if you're talking about star players, Warner is one of them, and Kane Williamson, we're also yet to see, that promise that we know of Kane Williamson, what he adds to the side. And Sohail, everybody, especially Karachi fans, was so excited to have somebody like him. When are we seeing him in action, scoring those runs? What's up with that?
रोहा ये फ्रेंचाइज क्रिकेट में यही बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ है कि आप वैसे इफ केन बिग नेम फॉर न्यूजीलैंड when he's in the team definitely he's playing right when it comes to New Zealand, but franchise cricket is totally different. Karachi, because he was not there, and then Karachi lost a couple of games, but then they peaked before he arrived, right? Now with David Warner as captain, and then James Vince performing so well, Tim Safford performing so well, so it is very difficult to break your, they are the core.
And Mohammad Nabi.
And then Mohammad Nabi delivering, he bowled 2 tremendous spells, 4 over 14 for 2, 4 over 14 for 4. So you don't want to, apna winning combination, and it's not only about combination, ye core hai aapki. Because they are the experienced guys who not only brings their own game, but also they contribute with their vision, with their experience.
Yeah.
So you don't want to break that. So I think we all love to watch Kane playing in PSL, first time in Pakistan, playing PSL, but it's hard, it's tough.
Hard to crack into at
Yeah,
the moment.
nice.
Yeah.
And it speaks a lot about Warner's captaincy as well, that, you know, he's making those bold calls as the captain. I think it's refreshing, Sana, for Karachi Kings as well.
Of course, I mean, it's you have to feel for Shan, who was maybe the captain of this team, and now is not able to find a place in the 11. But in franchise cricket, that's even better. Like it's easier to take those bold calls. And Irfan Khan Niazi was tremendous in the last game. He was brought in place of Shan. Shan did get an opportunity, wasn't able to perform. So these are the tough decisions sometimes in franchise cricket that you have to make. And Australian cricket, whether it's male or female, it's a very, very ruthless kind of a structure where if you're not performing, no matter who you are, you will have to rest and someone else has to come and take the place. And I think that's the culture Karachi needed, and that's the culture that now they have been given by David Warner.
Can you actually name two players which you think from Lahore Qalandars and Karachi Kings has been underutilized?
I think Sam Billings and Sikandar Raza at one point, but now that's getting better. And I do think with Amir Jamal can be utilized a bit more from Karachi. And I think Mohammad Nabi has been on and off, but I think he has been now using the new ball, and I think that's working well for Karachi. The only thing I couldn't pick Karachi off the bat was injury to Hassan Ali, because the way he had been performing, that's a huge gap to fill for Karachi for
Exactly,
now.
and you know, because you mentioned about this as well, you know, so with Jazz Cash and you know Salam and Takafur, you know, you actually get coverage as well, accidental and non-accidental. So please make sure that you kind of enroll for that. Unfortunately, if
मतलब कह रखे आप
Yeah.
आप क्योंकि शहजाद इतनी आपकी माशाल्लाह
I know where it's going.
एक्सपेंसिव गाड़ियां हैं आपकी, हमने वीडियोस वगैरह देखे, तो आई थिंक आपको भी जो है वो कवरेज जो
I think I've been lucky enough because of my father, because I get insurance on 1%, so it's great. So I think get insurance, ladies and
all
gentlemen.
tips, all insurance and coverage tips you're watching on the Dugout. Erin Holland, you've been here for 2 nights in a row. We thank you because we know how tight your schedule is with the PSL. You're traveling and now you're leaving us right after this show. How has your experience been at the Dugout?
Yeah, lovely. I really appreciate you guys having me. Fun to come on and, you know, get to hang out with some of my friends who I've been working with for, you know, many, many years here in Pakistan. So any excuse to come and talk cricket is fine by me. And I think we have a lot of fun.
That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind words as well. Just very quickly towards the end, I was in conversation with a friend of mine in Australia, and Australia had won the World Cup. And he says nobody's out on street, you know, nobody even knows what's happening, and Pakistan is huge on cricket fans as well. So would you mind elaborating on that as well, whether how people respond to Australia winning World Cups?
It was probably footy season when it happened. That was the problem. But, you know,
that explains it.
We're a very small population who play a lot of different sports, and often these World Cups happen in completely different time zones. And when I say we're the land down under, we really are so far away from everywhere else. And when the games are on at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, you kind of lose touch on what's happening, which is a real shame. You know, I think Paddy Cummins had maybe 1 or 2 kids come up and ask for a photo when he, you know, won the World Cup, when he came back as well. This is crazy. But let's just remember, 26 million people live in Australia. More live in Karachi. So
जाते Erin ने a mic drop moment just as you were about to.
So you know, it is disappointing, but I get to work overseas and experience the cricket fever in the subcontinent, which is like nothing else, and I get so excited to come to each and every match. So what I would say to those who are thinking about coming at home, please come out to a game. It's so much fun. I love getting to meet as many of you as I can at the grounds too, and you know, let's fill up those stadiums. There's a really good cricket being played, and I feel like other than Multan Sultans, there's still 5 teams that are very much in contention for the playoffs. So every game means so much. Keep watching.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that shout out at the end. I think no matter which team is playing, but we'd love to see those grounds full. Sohail Tanveer, Sana Mir, Shoaib Akhtar, Erin Holland, Shehzad Khan.
Thank you, Roha.
Thank you, all of you, for being with us tonight in the Dugout. And thank you, आप लोगों का आप इतनी late हमें देख रहे हैं, join कर रहे हैं, और आप हमारे you engage with us on social media, and of course you send us your questions. So thank you for all of that. We really appreciate it. This was all we had for you tonight, but we'll be back tomorrow night after the game. अपना बहुत ख्याल रखिए. You're watching the Dugout on Tamasha and Myco. Good night.
Allah Hafiz.